All right, so a bunch of you said that I really should react to this song next, that it aligns with a lot of the conversations we've been having and is a good follow-up after Money Ties. The first image is kind of silly, so this probably is going to be a little bit more of a light mood one, but I guess we'll see. It's called Crucify Your Culture, 5 years old, so I guess we'll see how relevant it is to today.
A murderer's mind, born into a murderous time, where right or wrong is a blurred line, hard to define. For greed is poison the well, we all drink from the chalice. It's a long way down into the rabbit hole, Alice.
Now I crucify your culture, burn down the old-up religion of consumerism, picks us up like vultures, takes us for punks. They say jump, we jump, it's the same if it's Bush or Obama or Trump. I'm not buying into a 1-2-3 party system, I'm rising against them.
All right, I'll do my normal vibe check like a minute in, but I can see right off the bat why so many of you thought this was pertinent, because this is something we've been struggling with in the comments back and forth a bit, as I've seen. Not everyone, obviously, but initial vibes off the bat, I really like it. Kind of reminds me of Gorillaz. It's crazy how he does so many different like genres, and like it's one thing to be an artist that does different genres, right? There's a bunch of people that have, you know, sung blues and sung country, or done rap and done pop, or, you know, like Taylor Swift started out country, went into much more poppy stuff, did a little that I would consider almost like hip-hoppy type of songs or R&B type of songs and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's not uncommon for artistic talents, but he takes it like such a step further, doesn't he? Not just that he's shifting a style, but he changes his like messaging and vocabulary usage and his voice, his music creation, and the video design and visuals and everything else around that like genre or targeted audience, which this is giving me Gorilla vibes, or kind of like maybe 90s punky vibes, early 2000s, when people made like videos like this as, you know, homages to songs they really liked or something like that, using little cutout clip art of the artist. That's what it harkens back a lot to for me. Oh, I just noticed, I'm pretty sure one of my regular commenters has this exact image as their profile picture. Oh shoot, y'all can't see it. That kitty cat there, I'm pretty sure has been commenting on a lot of my videos, and I've had conversations with, uses that image as their profile picture. I'm fairly certain it's exactly the same. Anyway, definitely liked it off the bat. Let's give it a listen through. I'll stop if something is just like groundbreaking, but otherwise I'll try and save up my thoughts and circle them back at the end, so that we can get a clean listen through on the song. It's only about 2 minutes, so I don't think that should be a problem.
A murderer's mind, born into a murderous time, where right or wrong is a blurred line, hard to define. For greed is poison the well, we all drink from the chalice. It's a long way down into the rabbit hole, Alice.
Now I crucify your culture, burn down the old-up religion of consumerism, picks us up like vultures, takes us for punks. They say jump, we jump, it's the same if it's Bush or Obama or Trump. I'm not buying into a 1-2-3 party system, I'm rising against them illusions of choice. Take our voice or take back your rigged election system deficit. Represent nobody but your money. Funny how you keep them sweet, honey, shepherds and the sheep, dummy.
Someday they'll find a way to sell my views, like they sold the concept of freedom to you. They sold the voice of Huxley, of Orwell, Guevara, Dalai Lama. Now they're all just a product to you.
And now you care more about your new shoes, the loose screws and minds of politicians that abuse truths to shape you, break you. Consumerism breaks you until your thoughts to end you. They make you wanna hate you, so you keep buying. Corporation buying, defying fraudulent liars and burning empires, tapping to the telephone wires. And history's biased, it glorifies and justifies our evil. It justifies the wars that rain destruction upon people.
Every single human born equal.
They treat you like an asset, not a human, man, it's see-through. Slavery through debt, you think that mortgage is to help you? Bills stacking high, killing dreams, money maims you, lying tames you. The land of the free, irony. A hierarchy, false education kills the fire in me. Still I stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power and now greed.
Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. Fuck greed, silent I breathe, burn money. Greed makes us bleed, makes us bleed, makes us bleed.
Our political system is a farce. Democracy will not exist till actions speak louder than money. Wealth is a poison honey, another money making holiday for the Easter bunny. Adverts suck out your soul, a drink Coca-Cola, lining up the pockets of the fat controller, selling fear to the people, let it spread like a bowl of propaganda machine. Remember the dream, it's hopeless. Nikola Tesla, 1883. The DC current system fought against the AC, but not because the AC system wasn't any better, because people don't like change when money's at the center. Move, let me enter from the epicenter. Poison parliamenter, who's the main contender? Oh, it's you, Mr. President. Evident that the counterintelligence is a hell of a prevalent.
Oh, man, is that not like perfect for the conversations we have? I mean, right in the beginning, too, right off the bat.
To define, for greed is poison the well. We all drink from the chalice. It's a long way down into the rabbit hole, Alice.
Now I crucify your culture, burn down the altar. Religion of consumerism picks us up like vultures, takes us for punks. They say jump, we
Yeah, right here. And like the comment I keep getting, that I keep having to be like, man, you gotta break away from this like propaganda system of this man bad, the other side bad, whatever. This is the exact point.
It's the same if it's Bush or Obama or Trump. I'm not buying into a 1, 2, 3.
He didn't say it's worse if it's this, or if it's worse if it's better if it's this, or anything. It's the same. I know you've been programmed to hate. I know you've been told all of these atrocities, but it's the same. If you listen to the other side, you'll hear a similar list of atrocities coming from people that you think are better or less of a problem or less evil. It's not. It's all the same shit. Force-fed you from a artificial division to hide the real division, which is that the rich, corrupt, powerful don't give a shit about the rest of us. Don't give a shit about the empathetic, the kind, the hardworking, the opinionated, the driven, the motivated, the religious, the whatever. They don't care. They just don't care. So I thought that part was really great. There was another part here I wanted to kind of talk about. Give me a sec to find it. This part here resonates with me a lot. Citizens United was one of the worst things we ever did in our country. And obviously the corruption and greed goes deeper than Citizens United. I mean, you can take it back to the WTO. You can take it, to a bunch of different places. But I think that one legislation in particular set us on a very course to where what he's describing here exists.
Political system is a farce. Democracy will not exist till actions speak louder than money. Wealth is a poison honey, another money making holiday for the Easter bunny. Adverts suck out your soul, drink Coca-Cola, lining up the pockets of the fat controller, selling fear to the people, let it spread like a bowl of propaganda machine. Remember the dream, it's hopeless.
So right here, Citizens United versus the Federal Election Commission 2010 is a landmark decision of the United States Supreme Court regarding campaign finance laws, in which the court held the laws were restricting the political spending of corporations and unions are consistent with the free speech clause of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The Supreme Court's 5-4 ruling in favor of Citizens United sparked significant controversy, with some viewing it as defense of Americans' principle of freedom of speech and a safeguard against government overreach, and other criticizing it for reaffirming the longstanding principle of corporate personhood and for allowing large corporations to wield disproportionate political power. So in actuality, in the United States at least, that ruling is what led to this version of reality where actions don't speak louder than money. Was there a ton of corruption and dirty politics and everything before that? Sure, absolutely. But Citizens United came out and said that a corporation's free speech is, when it comes to campaign finance donations, is ideologically identical to an individual's free speech. Do you see the problem? So now Apple, with its tens of thousands of employees in the US, can use all the money that they garner from those employees to legally fund leaders and policies that are good for Apple, even if it's bad for the 10,000 employee citizens. And those 10,000 employees can also donate to try and get their will pushed, but obviously are not as profitable and rich as the corporate entity as a whole. That differentiation was basically rejected by the Supreme Court with Citizens United. Prior to that, corporation campaign contributions were limited because they didn't want the corporations to have undue influence. Afterwards, limitations lifted. Just like I can push and support a political party as much as I want, financially or otherwise, this gave corporations the exact same rights as me. In my opinion, a huge problem that has led us to where we are now in 2026.
The fire in me. Still I stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power and now greed.
Another part of the song I really wanted to talk about is this right here.
I stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power and now.
So a lot of people might see this as a conspiratorial statement or whatever and write Ren off for making something like this, especially like people on the right that think it's asinine to question the president's involvement in something like 9/11. And I agree. It would take an overwhelming amount of evidence for me to believe that this was an intentional false flag operation. It just simply would. There's tons of anecdotal evidence, but it would take a lot of concrete evidence for me to believe that something like this was intentionally designed from the president of the United States. Personally, I don't see Bush as that intelligent of a creature to begin with, and so on and so forth. But I don't see that as the point he's trying to make here. Two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power and now greed. If you understand the history of what led up to the Taliban running Afghanistan and then eventually, striking the US with 9/11, you would understand that it was a total desire for power and greed that led to those people getting in charge and then eventually those people attacking us. The Taliban was formed in Kandahar in September 1994 during the Second Afghanistan War, under the leadership of, I'm not going to try and pronounce it, with support of Pakistan. The Taliban captured Kandahar forces November 1994 and proceeded to seize all the southern Afghanistan by September 1995. And then if you say, okay, so they were formed in the early 90s as part of a civil war movement in the country, how did they get to the level of civil war? What happened before that? Well, that was the Soviet-Afghan War. The Soviet-Afghan War took place in Afghanistan from 1979 to 1989, not long before the Afghan Civil War where the Taliban was formed. It saw the Soviet Union and the Afghan military fight against the rebelling Afghan Mujahideen aided by Pakistan. While they were backed by various supporting countries and organizations, the majority of the Mujahideen support came from Pakistan. The United States, as part of Operation Cyclone, the United Kingdom, for my British people out there, China, and Iran. So the Taliban became in existence because of wars that were started by the leaderships of both my country and the European countries, as well as Pakistan. Hence, saying that they were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power is a historically accurate statement, regardless of what emotions that may bring about. It was the power and greed of world leaders funding different sides of a war in Afghanistan that led to Afghanistan's deterioration into a civil war, which then led to the creation and formation of the Taliban, which then conducted 9/11 as an operation. Not giving justification for any of these actions, just saying it's historically accurate. And I wanted to point that out. I feel like some could be very turned off by this portion of the song.
A murderer's mind, born into a murderous time, where right or wrong is a blurred line, hard to define. For greed is poison the well, we all drink from the chalice. It's a long way down into the rabbit hole, Alice.
Now I crucify your culture, burn down the old up religion of consumerism, picks us up like vultures, takes us for punks. They say jump, we jump. It's the same if it's Bush or Obama or Trump. I'm not buying into a 1, 2, 3 party system. I'm rising against some illusions of choice. Take our voice or take back your rigged election system. Deficit represent nobody but your money. Funny how you keep them sweet, honey. Shepherds and the sheep on me.
Someday they'll find a way to sell my views, like they sold the concept of freedom to you. They sold the voice of Huxley, of Orwell, Guevara, Dalai Lama. Now they're all just a product to you.
And now you care more about your new shoes, the loose screws and minds of politicians that abuse truths to shape you, break you. Consumerism breaks you until your thoughts to end you. They make you wanna hate you, so you keep buying. Corporation buying, defying fraudulent liars and burning empires. Tap into the telephone wires and history's biased. It glorifies and justifies our evil. It justifies the wars that rain destruction upon people.
Every single human born equal.
They treat you like an asset, not a human, man, it's see-through. Slavery through debt, you think that mortgage is to help you? Bills stacking high, killing dreams, money maims you. Lying tames you. The land of the free, irony. A hierarchy, folks, education kills the fire in me. Still I stand strong like two towers that were knocked down by greedy men's thirst for power and now greed.
Greed plants a seed that will destroy us all if we succumb to greed. Fuck greed, silent I breathe. Burn money. Greed makes us bleed, makes us bleed, makes us bleed.
Our political system is a farce. Democracy will not exist till actions speak louder than money. Wealth is a poison honey, another money making holiday for the Easter bunny. Adverts suck out your soul, drink Coca-Cola, lining up the pockets of the fat controller, selling fear to the people, let it spread like a bowl, a propaganda machine. Remember the dream, it's hopeless. Nikola Tesla, 1883. The DC current system fought against the AC, but not because the AC system wasn't any better, because people don't like change.
Man, what a great analogy with the DC AC argument. I love that. The DC current system fought against the AC, not because the AC system wasn't any better, because people don't like change when money's at the center. So true. For any of you guys that have dove into the history of like DC and AC, I don't know a ton about it, but I have friends and stuff that are electricians, and from my understanding, the AC system has its benefits from being safer, but I think the DC system is better for equipment, something like that. I'm sure one of y'all will explain it in the comments, but I just think that's a really fair analogy, because that's what I keep trying to preach, man. It's no side that's better. One might serve you in particular a little bit better, but you're rewriting history if you think that the other side didn't serve other people better. You're just feeding into the propaganda. That's the point. Anyway, loved it. Great recommendation. Great one to jump into right after the Money Game series and Money Ties. I think I might do a couple other kind of like non-canon songs that have been recommended to me before diving into Jenny and Screech, and then the most recent stuff like Sick Boy's been talked about a lot, and a few others. So I might dip into a few of those before I jump into the tales, as many of you guys have called them. But great direction to go. Thank you guys for being along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed my reaction. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and let's get back to work, guys. Keep praying. I'll see you in the next one.